Hello, everybody. This is Pete from PAL Labs. And back today working on the war game. Spent some time this morning. I'm eating crow. I fixed my FRM list. FRM list is now proper at, if you notice, FRM list 2 is gone. This is list 1, list. And then I had to go through the ricochet of getting all the code fixed correctly because that was a total screw up on my part. Okay, so moving on. I did the work this morning on cleaning up the form we did yesterday. If we come out here to developer types, I made the grid bigger and that looks pretty good. You can come into here, and this looks pretty sharp with the custom controls in here. And I have 0.1, 0.10. There we go. So we can put in decimal numbers, defense. Let's see, what these were integers, right? So if you notice, I built two different constructors, one for right justified 2 decimal places and the other for center and integer. If we jump back to the code, I'll show you what I did. And that would be, I built a custom control helper. And this is the custom control helper, where we have a custom string right, which is 2 decimal places, a custom string left. And this goes through and does exactly what the code on the custom controls yesterday was doing. It's generating a variable of type gadget. It frees the existing control you pass in, and then it takes this and builds it all out just the way we want it. So we have the switch down here. That's the one I want to use. And then I modified military type. Let's see, I think I can collapse the code. That would be the easiest. I added a military type custom down here. I hooked him in when the screen shows up. It calls this. And in the custom, we call string right or string center or the switch convert. And then it's all done in one sentence, nice, clean, and pretty. And it's all grouped together where things make sense. So that's how this is working. So the next class or the next database that we need to work on here, and I've got this all ready to go. I'm going to be decreasing. This is national units. There he is. Knew he was down there somewhere. My eyes don't focus like they used to. Okay, so we have national units here where we're actually attaching the left, right, and traditional images. And we have a unit picture, which I have plans for and may or may not use, but it's easier if I decide I want it if it's there. So I'm putting it in. And this is where you're going to build the actual units based on the nationality and the era and the element types and stuff like that. So I've already gone in Class Builder. You don't need to see me rebuild every one of these doggone things. I think they've cut down on the video size. So I've created this, and actually I've already gone and created the database in the database structure. So we've got a bunch of foreign keys, a Boolean, and a barking dog. We'll come down here and we will go ahead and export this. And then we will go ahead and export the view. Okay. So once all that's exported, we can jump back to the code. Let's come back to the main screen. And again, I'm trying to decrease the amount of code I have to type on video to shorten up these videos. So we're going to include national unit model and national unit view, and we need to add them to the project. So we'll come out here and go to views, and you have national unit. And now let's go get the model. Let's see, video models, and we will putting in national unit. We can add these to our project, and let's come back over to our project. And I've actually already even created the enumerator, excuse me, for national units. So we come down to the menu structure area, and I'm just going to uncomment code that's already been written for speed. And I'm not putting this inside the military or the developer structure. I'm putting this inside configure because as you add games, you'll add nationalities and countries and eras, so you'll need to add units that are appropriate. I mean, you wouldn't want all the units to show up that exist in every era, because if you're doing an American Civil War game or Roman Empire kind of game, what use would a dive bomber be, or tanks? No, you would have cavalry, you would have lancers, you would have, names that make sense. Yes, those are going to link back to infantry or tanks or whatever you want to link them back to. So we can handle all the mathematics of the game. But this is where you're actually coming up with the names that are appropriate for the eras to link them back. Okay, so now I believe we should have the standard errors we expect to have here. And first and foremost that shows up is the save and updating the list icon. Now, we know that. I didn't point this out. I have all 4 of these top fields in the list view. So the class builder on the view doesn't really account for anything other than name. So for the moment, I'm going to go ahead and comment these 2 segments out, and I'll come back and address them in a bit. The next error that we can anticipate having when using a list is it's using the wrong darn name for closing the list. Actually, it's using the right name here, but he's using the wrong name up here in the control. So I've got to get that fixed and get it fixed for both when you're using a list and when you're not using a list. Currently, it works perfectly when it's not a list. And then when you use a list, it doesn't work right. So, oh darn, let's see. I lost where I was. Let's just hit play again. It'll get mad. There he is. Okay, so we copy that guy down here, and this is fixed. Now, a few things that I want to point out in the code, and let me collapse this. This guy has images, right? We're sitting here looking at 4 images that got to get loaded. So Class Builder understands images. He understands what's going on. He'll come up here and create 2 procedures each, a clear and a load for all of your pictures. He's furthermore going to create a working variable of your image to work with. Now, he carries that working variable all the way through to where he's sharing them into here. He's sharing them into the screens. When we come down here, we share them down into the save. And then if you save successfully and everything's done, then he cleans all those images out and does all of this cleanup. So that is what's happening here. And then down here you have all of your loads and saves to go get the left facing image, and he puts in a fine to go get it for you and everything. So that's pretty sweet, uh, especially since you don't have to write it. I always figure that's a plus. Um, so if we run the code now, we have our two standard errors that we're expecting. We can now come into configure and go to national units. There's the standard list screen. Uh, he's got more fields, so I already know I need to go tweak this and build them out custom. We should be able to call this up. There we go. So now we have our combo box loaded. We have the nationalities. What we need to go do is tie these two together. What we want to do is only build this nationality based upon your selection of era. That needs to be done. And then we have all the element types down here that we want to mess with. These are the legal logistic animals that we're going to use and tie to math and stuff. And then we have the various images that we're going to load down here. And I put in the sizes so we can deal with that. And so there's the whole next table structure. And I think in all that probably took, I don't know, about 30 minutes, 45 minutes to write. It'll take another 15, 20 minutes to clean up and put in the tweaking code of what it has to be. But if we came out here and just looked at what he built for us, this is our model. Okay, let's go ahead and collapse the code on the model. We have our standard to declare section, and we actually have the module itself. And he's built all of our standard functions out for us. You get the create table, and I told him to build both a list icon and a combo box. So he's built all of this out for us down here. All we have to do is tweak and do some other stuff. Now, for these lists that are displaying foreign keys of other tables, you're going to eventually have to come in here and add procedures. What I do is come into here and copy the find, and I'll paste the find in here, and then I'll come up here and say, okay, get name. Okay, what is the name of this table? What is the name of this unit? Okay, so we actually have a name on this table. It's called unit name. So get unit name, right? So we're going to return unit name. We're going to give him an ID, and this is actually going to return a string, not an integer. So I'm showing you how easy it is to build we can reuse. This has no pictures that we're going to play with. Let's come in here and say, let's just build a name. We're going to cut this up. I don't need era, and I don't need any of this. That matter of fact, that's my last field I'm going to get. So we'll tear all of this out of here, and we have our full SQL. And all I care about is, instead of unit name, we're now going to shoot. What did I do? I pasted. I thought I didn't copy that. Did I? Control C. All right. So we'll come down here and say, okay, there's our unit name. That's the guy we care about. I don't care about any of this. We're going to get rid of all of that. Oops. So now I don't have any of this. We're going to come all the way down and say, let's get rid of that. I believe I can get rid of this. We got rid of the width. So, okay, so we just tear it down, and I don't need him. All I need is the name. and then procedure return name. Okay, so now we've written a function and it's going to return the get unit name from this table. I'll copy that signature and build our declare to make this thing public. Okay. And now we've added a function to this that says, hey, we have a get unit name. You give me the ID and I'll return you the name. So on many of these tables, we're going to need to build this so that the list that currently, when the code is written, let's come on down here because this guy will have it as well because he's actually pulling IDs and things. Let's see, this is the load combo. No, not you. We want the load list icon. So in here, class builder doesn't have anything but the nationality ID and whatnot. So we're going to actually come down here, see how he's pulling back the nationality ID and the era ID. So we need to come into this code down here and say, okay, now that I've got those IDs, instead of doing a string on the ID, we're going to say that was game era, right? That's the module name. And we're going to say get name. Now I need to go build that function, but that will then go get the name for that. And then we'll do the same thing over here with nationality. So we have an object, NATI. Okay, so we should be able to see him there. There's nationality, and I'll do a get name here. Okay, and now he's returning names. And I can go to these two um, modules and go copy the find, tweak it all out to return the name based on the ID, and everything's done. Everything's linked up. Everybody's happy. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of this on the. I wanted to walk through one for everybody here, but I'm going to be doing this now offline. I've shown you once. I'm going to start speeding this up. Hopefully by this afternoon, I'll have another video out on this, and I'll be actually entering data into all of these and loading the pictures, and we can get our set of here's our units that we're building. Okay, and that pretty much concludes this video. I hope I got it down smaller. So thanks for your time.